Well, girl, I don't know about you, but I'm loving our new podcast setup. I mean, we feel it's like so professional with
It's
our mic,
cute. It's cute. And this is our final season, season 4.
and we can crash and burn that episode and move forward in our new podcast
With our new mics,
location.
new toys.
I'm loving this. I really am. I mean, it's so bright.
Don't
It's so us.
don't mess with me and my gossip and Gypsy sister.
Hell no. I mean, we're just gonna keep leveling up. We're business women, Annie. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Gossiping Gypsy Sisters. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Annie. You may know us from the TLC show Gypsy Sisters. We are here with our very brand new show called Gossip and Gypsy Sisters, where we break down all things gypsy.
From the culture to the fashion to our everyday lives. Each week, we will be updating you all on what's been going on in our very own personal lives, as well as breaking down the next episode of the TLC Gypsy Sisters. For the very first time, right here with you.
So if this is your first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more gypsy content.
Today, we're going to be discussing season 4, episode 1 of TLC's Gypsy Sisters, the name that started a war.
It's always a war.
Hey, the whole deal was we was in a war zone the entire time.
In this episode, we go ziplining, go to the club, and throw Mellie a baby shower.
Going to the club, ziplining, and a baby shower.
Put it all together.
What kind of combo is that?
Crazy
It's
shit.
not a 3-piece from KFC. It's a whole different ball game.
Well, the ending of the episode was the whole chaos, but we'll get there when the time comes.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Chaotic. The theme of this episode is girls just want to have fun. Yeah, baby. You know the song Cyndi Lauper? Girls just want to have fun.
And you know, when girls just want to have fun, when you're married, when you're married and tied down, it's a different type of fun. But when you're single and you can actually just like let your hair down and just go, like go out, go embrace life. Just don't get in no trouble. Because in the married way is definitely not going out and partying and letting your hair down if you're alone. And not too many couples really like to go out partying, really. So if you're not single and you're out in a club, you're not gonna be married very long.
What she just said.
Okay, let's dive into the first scene when we go ziplining.
In this scene, Nettie invites us all to go ziplining. She brings her daughter Mater and Joanne, while me, you, and Sissy are all.
It does look a little scary, I ain't gonna lie. Woo!
You remember?
Yeah.
I loved it. I had a blast.
Oh, hey, listen, y'all. If you've never been ziplining, if you've watched the episode with us, you can tell that everyone was a little scared and a little shook up, but overall, it was fun. Would I do it again? Absolutely. It's a little intimidating when the ropes get a little bit higher, but overall it was a good time.
Do you remember having a talk with Sissy in the car, telling her you wanted her to have a more adventurous life than what you did growing up?
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying to her was I wanted my daughters, all of them, and my sons. I wanted all of my kids to try to see as much of their young life as possible without being tied down and married at a young age, because I got married at 15. Would I go back and do anything different today? No. There was perks to getting married that young. And for a mother, your kids aren't out running the roads and doing things they shouldn't be doing. But then at the same time, I just wanted them to try and see a little more life before they got married, have kids, and they're tied down. And because once you get married and have kids, your life's done. It's not about you no more. So whatever you didn't get to do, sorry, that's your bad. Because once you get married and have kids, life changes.
True that. I agree.
Um, the way I was raised is pretty much the way I raised my own. And mm, as a mother, and speaking of my mother was very, very strict on us growing up. And it wasn't all bad, and it wasn't in a bad way. She was strict in a way. She was more about our safety and well-being, and definitely teaching us how to be young women, at a very young age, how to cook, clean, be a proper wife, be a good mother. And from what my raisins were like, I pretty much turned around and put the same raisins on my kids. Uh, if not pretty damn close. Me and my mom taught me well. She brought me I wouldn't change the way she brought us up. I think she done a good job from the girls to the boys.
Well, we
She done
wasn't
her
even
part.
allowed to spend nights away at home with our friends. Laura was my best friend growing up, and anytime I never got to stay away, Laura had to come stay with me. So mom was strict on us.
She was, and back then Annie, you used to get so mad. But look at the world today and think about, like, would you send your kids at, say, Carly's age and just let her go start staying with friends from school? You don't.
No.
The world's got so crazy you can't trust your kids to just be anywhere in this world. You got to be very protective. You need to know. Listen, my grown kids that are grown and married today, including Annie, our whole family, we're all on an app called Life 360. What's that? We can go click on any of our kids,
Right down to our mother.
our mom, our brothers, all of us, our spouses, and know exactly where they're at every second of the day. Like, that's how
That's
protective
true.
we are.
So who would you say the most adventurous of the group is, Kayla? I'd say it's me because I love doing anything and everything and anything that come my way.
Oh no, honey, I had more fun than you
No,
had.
no, no, no. I'm the most adventurous of the group. You're chicken shit.
Listen here, podcast. I had the most fun that day.
She's lying.
I was like a kid in a candy store, and like I said, would I do it again? You damn right I would.
I think
loved it.
Joanne had the most fun, if we want to be honest here.
I think everyone had fun. Nettie was a little scared, but we all was a little shook up. But overall, I think everybody really enjoyed it, honestly.
Well, after we get in all of our gear, do you remember getting in the pink bus and headed to the rope course?
Yeah, we thought we were doing some big stuff that day.
Well, think about it. It was years ago, so
We thought we were doing our big one. Like, all of us girls are all locked up in on here, and they're driving us up to the rope course, and we don't even know. We have no idea what we're in for. We've never done it before, so it was a fun but nervous little ride.
well, I wonder what did you remember Nettie acting so scared that day? And this was her big idea. She's the one who was acting really scared this day, and bam, Nettie's the scared one, and we all had fun.
Yeah, I think towards the end she kind of got like a little used to it. She liked it.
I don't think it was an act for the cameras. I think it was just. I think she really was scared. Kayla was chicken shit too, y'all. She was chicken shit.
Well, we took that rope course that day. No one backed out. Everyone made it through. And like I said, would you take a rope course again, Annie? Would you do it again?
Yes, I would. Yes.
Okay. Well, since we know Annie and I would take another ropes course,
Well, we just might have to do that, being we're in Tennessee.
let's just go ahead and start talking about Mellie and Scott at the bowling alley right now. Let's go there.
Hey there, buddy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm tired.
You tired?
Yes.
You look beautiful.
Do I?
Me and Scott has been dating for 4 months, and he is perfect. I love the way he treats me when I'm around him, and I wouldn't ask for a better man.
Let's go ahead and get into this.
I mean, in this scene, Mellie meets up with her new boyfriend, Scott. Wow. At the bowling alley, we learn about her 3-month relationship and how he's a gorger in any of her previous boyfriends.
Well, with Mellie, you just never know.
Well, he's not like any of her previous boyfriends. Let me quote unquote.
Yeah, well, he was non-gypsy, which
I do think Mellie got like really attached to Scott. Like I do think she was
Mellie
madly in love.
in love with Scott. Oh, that wasn't no setup or no joke. That was very for real. She was madly in love with Scott. At a point, I think they were talking about having a baby too. Like, they wanted a kid together.
Yeah.
But no, he wasn't like a lot of her others in the past. Scott was actually a good guy. He's one of the only ones that I seen her pick up with that he actually gave her. He took her for real. Like he tried to really, really do
Well,
good by
he had
her.
a rough life himself, and I guess he wanted. Remember, he had a child of his own that he never got to see, and he got with Mellie, and he really was in love with Mellie. And Scott was one of her better relationships, I'd have to say.
Same. I do agree. I don't really remember too much about any of her other past relationships other than, Robbie, but Robbie wasn't, he was actually good to her too. She's ran off some good people. Well, Annie, let's talk about the lunch after the zip line because I remember after we got done zip lining, between all the excitement and the energy burn, I was starving that day.
I'm always hungry. When am I not? For real.
What have y'all been up to?
Just getting settled in my place.
We got a bachelor pad.
I heard.
I wouldn't say it's a bachelor pad.
It's a bunch of single bitches learning how to become independent. That's what kind of pad it is.
That's what it is. That's more like it.
After living with Richard for 18 years, it feels so good to finally feel independent for once in my life and actually have my own home. And I get to share it with Annie and Mellie.
Well, while at the lunch, we talk about Gypsy Grapevine and everyone saying that Kayla's parties and all that all the time. Gypsy Grapevine was a big thing back in the day. Still
Gypsy
is.
Grapevine has never fell off the face of the earth to today. The only thing it's done today is it changes its face every other week and gets a new name. But I believe wholeheartedly it's still whoever it was back then running them is who it is still today. They have never stopped.
Well, they're going to be around, and I think they'll be around till we die.
But you want to know what makes that page and all those, they keep making all these accounts on Facebook, TikTok, and I'm not going to give the real name because I'm not going to shed or give publicity to people that don't have anything better to do in life rather than to sit behind the keyboard. Clearly, they don't have a life because they don't get off the internet talking about everybody else's life. They're so worked up. And what's crazy about these pages, our own family writes in and tells these strangers, which probably isn't much of strangers, but they write in and talk about each other. I've had these pages blocked for years. Every time I find out that there's a new page, a gossiping page, I find it and block it the minute I find out there's even another one.
But there's so many of them, and they got a fake account, so blocking it ain't gonna do you no good.
Yeah, it does. It blocks it from my feed, and I can't see it. I just don't want to see it. I don't care what they do with it. I just don't have to see it. What does people get out of getting online and reading 99.9% false information about people? I mean, it's like it's gone to these are the days of our lives. It's turned to a talk. It's turned into a show for the internet. They know this shit ain't real. They just tune into it every day to see what they can read. It doesn't matter if it's any truth to it or not. Oh my gosh, Annie, let's talk about when me, you, Mellie, and Luke go to that club. You know what club?
Joanne?
And Joanne. I was wondering if you was gonna catch on right away. Do you remember where Luke took us?
No, but in this scene, we decided to all go out, cut loose for a little bit, and have a little fun, baby.
I haven't been drinking and partying that much here lately, so tonight I'll make up for all the missing out I've done.
The whole Gypsy community is talking about Kayla partying, and now I'm here seeing it for myself.
Luke took us to, I don't know what the name of it was, but it was like they performed drag queen shows. It was a little bit more than like a club. I'm talking like it was a all out, doll out place that Luke took us to. And it's the first time I've ever even been to one of these type of like shows. But it was a club, but it was more like they also put on like major shows in there. And I had fun.
Well, the club was a little crazy. We had a little fun, and that's all that mattered, I guess.
I mean, truly, if you're having a good time and you're not harming no one else, what's the problem?
Well, I remember Joanne basically saying that she didn't really like Mellie hanging out with you because of all the partying and all that. She going back and rewatching it, I never knew she said that, but
This is the first I've ever heard that too. I don't even remember that being said while we were filming. She didn't think it was good that I was partying and stuff. Well, needless to say, what a couple months later, she was partying and drinking with us. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe she changed her thoughts after all, because she was going out with us at a point. After, at a point, she was going out with us and drinking with us and having fun with us. So she must have had a change of heart.
I remember Joanne in her interview saying, or to Nenny the next day, was telling Nenny you got so drunk. Nenny was saying you drunk called her that night and left her all kind of messages, and she pulled up, sitting on her bed, she pulled up some of the stuff saying you left her drunk messages that night. Joanne was saying you was a bad influence, and that she wasn't going to go out with you no more and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. It was all crazy. I didn't know all that. I don't remember all that at the time. That was an episode I really can't say I remembered. And
I never heard any of that stuff. It wouldn't have bothered me then, and it doesn't bother me now because I'm grown. I'm a very good mother. I'm a very good person. And what I choose to do, I will be responsible for my own actions. And I don't think I've ever got out of control.
she said in her
Or out of
interview you
hand.
was a bad influence, and she was just going through a divorce, and she was trying to get custody of her kids. So she said she wasn't partying no more.
No more. She wasn't going to party no more. Meaning she did up to then, but I've never judged her, nor would I. I wouldn't judge her now. I wouldn't judge anyone. As long as you're responsible and you're not drinking and driving, it is not for no one else to say what they think that you should or you shouldn't do. If you're grown, you're grown.
Do you remember Mellie saying that she would never drunk down Nettie because she'd use it against you your whole life?
Yeah.
Well,
Never say never.
you drunk down her, but I remember Nettie saying to Joanne that you called her all night drunk or whatever, and then you had left her a message or something, and then you called her the next day and you made her meet you out somewhere. Y'all had to talk.
Yes.
The hash whatever son.
I can assure you, and this was so long ago, and I seen this, and I don't had like my memory. I don't remember blowing Nettie up. Like, why would I blow her up if I'm out? I'm saying I may have. What I'm saying is I'm sure I probably called her, but I guarantee to say blowing it up, she probably blew that out of proportion. I probably called her 2 or 3 times, which is about what if she was to call me and I don't answer, she might ring me back another time or 2. And
Well,
then she'll
I
stop.
remember in New Orleans, y'all drank at the table and was plastered like you both were drunk. So nobody got no room of talking about nobody drinking on the show because we've all done it.
Amen to that. And you can't throw a rock at a glass house. So that's basically what. Yeah.
And Nettie was talking about you drinking is what I'm saying, but we all did it. We all did it in New Orleans. We all had our fair share of drinking on the show, and we all had fun. Nobody got out of hand, and like there was no.
I'm
Like,
glad they
we didn't
thought
do
it was so
anything
bad.
wrong, is what I'm saying.
Right. I'm glad they thought it was all so wrong because, I mean, if I was this bad and this out of control, I tell you what, I am surely blessed today. And it didn't get into my way of success and being a very successful person. I mean, if it was all so bad, I don't think I would have a pretty decent life today. It would have consumed my life. But no, I don't let anything like that consume my life. I know how to have fun, let it go. I know how to be productive, be a business lady when I need to be responsible, and just worry about what I have to pay for my own consequences.
I just
Where else?
after the partying, I know Joanne was sitting on the bed folding her clothes at Nettie's, and she was talking about you drinking and stuff. And
Back then, the most I would do is go out with family and friends, have a little bit of fun, have a little to drink because I've never drank in my life before my divorce. And I would go home and go to bed, never bother no one. So I don't care what anyone thought about me going out. Hell, me and Benny go out right now. If we want to go out, we're grown. And if someone else wants to judge me for that, then that sins on your hands. Only one that I care about judging me is God. I know what I'm doing out there. Us seeing this episode and knowing what we know Nettie at this point in time, and again, we're talking years ago, but back at that time, I never knew she had so many opinions about me in such a negative way. Um, and way back then, when those gossip pages were going, I used to always think that Nettie, one of Nettie's best friends, was the one of the main runners when it very all first started. And she would message her every day and tell her things about not just me, everybody. And no one, I didn't know that for sure, but I had my suspicion. And then later I found out the the girl that she was telling all this stuff to ended up getting mad at her and revealing her and saying she was a very big part of how all the gossip was coming through the pages. But I don't think she's had anything to do with any gossip pages or any of those pages, though, in the most recent years, by no means, because I think it's just the same old people that just troll it daily. They have, if they can't get one, they're believe me, it's like it's a line. There's
It's
a line
the
up.
family that keeps the pages going because
Yeah.
the family wouldn't write into the pages, they
They
wouldn't
wouldn't
know
have
to post.
Yeah. But what they're taking from the family and what the family's writing in, they're not even telling nothing.
The truth.
And
yeah.
I'm not even just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for other people I've seen that, way back in the past get up there and be plastered about things that they have never even, they didn't even know about their own selves.
And when Joanne was at Nettie's house, I remember her saying that you had a bad reputation and she'd never seen partying with you again. She would never be seen. Never. And I can't talk. While Joanne was talking to Nettie about the clubbing and all, I remember in this episode she talked to Nettie. She would never be seen partying with you again because you had a bad reputation.
Yeah, whatever. She wouldn't never be seen partying with me, probably because I wasn't out partying to be seen with. Tell you the truth, I wasn't doing a whole lot of partying. I was very, I went out a little bit here and there. Probably never be seen with me again because it was me that wasn't out to be seen with. Everybody's had their day, like you said. Everybody. So I look bad because I'm over here doing nothing, no
I
different.
think the whole deal of the whole matter is Mellie was staying with you at the time, and that's their sister. And I get why Nenny or her they would be mad because that's their sister or whatever. Mellie was living with you that
You know
at the
why
time.
Mellie was living with me? Because she was put into a strip club to strip and to give her money away to a very, very close family. I got her out, and I'm not judging anyone that strips. I was literally genuinely concerned somebody was going to like kill Mellie, like rape her, kill her, follow her home. And she had a falling out with Nenny. And she called me and asked me if she could come and stay with me. I said, and I thought, okay, here's my chance. Here it is. I said, you sure can come and stay with me, but the only way you can stay with me, I said, I can't let you work in a strip club and stay with me because I have kids. I didn't want her to bring no, not talking crazy, but I don't know what kind of diseases that she might pick up in a strip club and bring them around my kids. So she said, okay. And that's when she quit stripping. Well, let's talk about shopping for baby clothes.
In this scene, Mellie, you and I all go shopping for baby clothes. While there, Mellie says that she's naming her baby after you.
Tell Annie what you're naming her.
Oh my gosh.
What are you naming your baby?
After this
Mellie. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
This pregnancy has been so rough for me, and Kayla's been the only one there for me, so I think I'm gonna name my baby girl after her.
I knew from day one she was living with me, so that was her way to like try to butter me up, make me think, oh, I'm gonna name this baby after you. I knew when she said it that she wasn't, and I never, to this day, I've never told her that. She might hear it here for the first time. I knew that she wasn't naming that baby after me.
Well, I mean, in the gypsy community, you know, a lot of gypsies name their babies after them or a relative or whatever. So that's like Nettie's. My daughter's Nettie, but my Nettie is after our grandmother Nettie. I mean, it is important to name kids after family and all that. It's very well known to do that.
So in this episode, Mellie talks about Nettie, she hasn't been there for her and she's having problems. And I don't really take it too serious because if me and Mellie were to get an argument right this minute, she might get up and leave and go to Nettie and say, we're not getting along. It could be over nothing. So I heard her out, but I think her and Nettie's relationship at the time was just off. She's probably
Yeah,
Nettie
she was living
probably,
with us in the house at the time.
yeah, and Nettie's probably really wanted Mellie to come back over there and stay, and because she was over there with us, she's throwing her some shade. Probably just jealous, a sister being jealous, probably. That's what I chalked it up to. She was jealous that Mellie was with me and staying with me rather than staying with her.
Well, she ended up naming the baby Brandywine.
Yeah,
And that was after one of her sisters,
which is
Brandy.
very typical. That's a typical thing to do. Well, let's talk about Nettie, Joanne, and Mellie having lunch at Nettie's. Annie.
Well, in this scene, Nettie invites Mellie over to catch up. While there, they talk about Kayla wanting to give Mellie a baby shower.
I was with Kayla. She told me she's throwing me a baby shower. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Who does Kayla think she is gonna throw you a baby shower and you got two sisters right here? No, I'm dead serious. They're sitting there with their mouths running and I've been pregnant for 9 months. They didn't even offer to throw me a baby shower. Kayla did.
I mean, she was living with me. She's pregnant. She is not with the baby's dad. And she's going through hardship. So she asked me if I would throw her a baby shower. And of course, yeah, I'll throw you a baby shower. Why not?
Well, I mean, I know why Nettie was so upset with you. I guess she's the big sister and the matriarch. So at the end of the day, I guess she probably wanted to be the one to do it. But at the time, her and Mellie was mad. So you were the only person that could do it for her because she was living with you at the time.
Well, Annie, I'm going to be honest with you. If you were, I know you and Joanne are really, really close. And let's say you were living at Joanne's house right now and you're expecting.
She would give me a baby shower.
And I wouldn't get upset. I would be, it's a blessing that your cousin wants to go all out and throw you a baby shower. For one, they're not cheap.
Well, me and Joanne's more like sisters than Joanne and her own sisters.
That's not the point. That's not the point. I'm only making a point. Nettie had no reason to get or be that bitter about me throwing Mellie a baby shower. Nettie, it would have looked so much better if she would have just said this. Oh, Kayla's going to throw her the baby shower? Oh, good. Well, we're going to do it together. We could have done it together. I wouldn't have got mad. There's no need to get
She didn't offer to do it at the time, but they were also mad. So I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't offer her one. She wasn't going to throw her one, and they were mad. So you're going to get mad at me because she asked me. Yeah, whatever. I did. I thought it was petty back then, and I damn sure know today still that was petty as hell.
Well, in the scene, Joanne makes a comment about your weight, and it doesn't seem like you were that close at the time. Can you talk about what was going on?
Yeah, I tell you what I thought was going on. I said,
well, you were happy at the time. You were going through a divorce. You had got with someone else, and you were happy at the time. And when you're happy, people gains a little bit of weight.
I was very, very happy with the way that I was doing things in my life at this very point in this episode. But I'm going to tell you what I ultimately thought back then, because I can read between lines really, really good. And what I read out of all that, it wasn't the weight that I was gaining weight because I was much healthier version of myself. I was doing much better things for myself. But coming from the other side, I think that was just the easy way of saying, probably trying to make it look like I'm gaining weight because I've been drinking. Trying to make me look like an alcoholic because I gained weight. But that was back then, and I'm sure there's no telling what she was being fed. And she was probably just going with it.
Well, I know Mellie loves to see you in you know what word. She dropped it about 3 different times in this episode.
That's her favorite word. She drops that about 1,500 times in one day. Well, guys, in this episode, Adam and I go to a batting cage. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that now.
Literally, we're getting into it. Adam thought to bring me to a betting cage because he plays softball. I've never even swung a bat, but I'm single and having fun. Let's bring on the heat.
Are you ready?
Ready
All right,
for
I'm
what?
gonna set my bag up here. We're gonna teach you how to hit.
I've never been to a batting cage before in my life.
I bet you didn't know what you was doing either.
I did it, but I knew why I wanted to go there. Because I'd been going through so much stress in my life. not from nothing necessarily that I was doing, the heat that I was just getting from everybody behind me and like in my ear. And I don't normally get mad. If I do, I kind of keep everything quiet. And so this was a good way for me to go get some like anger just released. And it worked. You ever get angry, go to a batting cage. You're going to release some of that.
Well, can you let the viewers know who Adam is?
So Adam is someone that I met. I just ran out into him in Martinsburg, and we kind of at that going back thinking we kind of hit it off pretty quick, and he asked to take me on a date, and we ended up going to the batting cage because he plays ball. He played ball his whole life, and so he offered to take me there, and that's where we went.
Well, you seem to hit the balls pretty good. Can you let the viewers know? Did you play any kind of ball growing up?
I mean, at the time, I was a little angry about the things that was going on with Nettie, so I was taking all my revenge out on that ball.
Damn, watching these episodes is like crazy after all these years.
It brings back it brings back good memories, but then it brings back
Bad
bad memories.
memories. Yeah, stuff you want to leave in the past.
Yep.
Well, after hitting some balls, you get a phone call from Nettie. While on the phone, she takes a dig about your drinking and offers to help you with the baby shower. You politely decline.
I did hear that you're throwing a baby shower for Mellie.
I am, she's due any day and she needs a baby shower, so I figured, what the hell, put something together. I'm having it at Luke's house, and you know where Luke lives, so you know where to come.
Well, do you need any help?
No, it would mean more if you just show up and let Mellie have her day of fun.
Well, I'll just be there.
You remember that?
Yeah, after there's been a massive blow up about it, and it wasn't that big of a deal in the beginning. But since it got turned into such a big deal, would you have done different?
No, you and her's relationship in this episode, I feel like went just straight downhill.
It did, because she got very petty about this damn baby shower. That it didn't have to go that way. If her and Mellie wasn't mad and she was living over at Nettie's at that time, you bet your ass Nettie would have threw her that baby shower. It wouldn't have even been a thought.
Well, to the viewers, y'all seemed great at ziplining, and y'all were, and then the baby shower come along and everything went to shit again. And it's crazy that any kind of little wrong word, like back then, even now, just something stupid and petty causes big arguments. It's uncalled for, and I don't like it, because families should be close. Families all supposed to love each other, and our families, I feel like they've just all went separate ways, and we don't even hear from Nettie. Mellie does her drama stuff that she does on her internet stuff that and got her own problems going on in her life. I don't deal with it all, and I just think it's all crazy. The same shit on how it was back then. I feel like it's just the same shit now. You can't even say anything without somebody blowing something up and putting 15 different lies on you and say you did this and that all over one petty little thing.
I know, where you used to could call and,
Talk to
genuinely
family.
talk to family.
You can't do it no more.
Now, if you talk to family, the minute you hang up,
They're gossiping.
yeah, they took but maybe what you absolutely meant for nothing and blowing it up.
Well,
and
no, I'm
making a scene out of it.
I'm meaning like this with the baby shower. Kayla genuinely wanted to give Mellie a baby shower, and the baby shower blowed up into a big argument that didn't have to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of those type of moments. It's those.
That's what I'm
ones-
talking
yeah,
about, those kind of moments.
You're absolutely right. Well, Annie, let's talk about Mellie playing with Richie.
In this scene, we see Mellie playing with baby Richard. While playing with him, she talks about the bond between Gypsy siblings.
Like that.
Ew. In Gypsy world, brother and sister relationship is a very strong bond. You want to dress the baby now? Because the brother is always there to watch his sister.
I mean, Gypsy or not, your siblings. I know we were all very close growing up, and we're 3 years apart, but we were very close growing up. We was close with Gus and Anthony, all of us.
I think Mellie's bond with her sisters is, I don't know. They don't act like sisters. They argue more than anything. Like her and Nettie and I don't. Mellie's just like a lost soul in the world. I'm gonna leave it there. That's why she is the way she is today, because she's like I don't know what the
She's just an outcast, and at this
that
point, I think the whole family has kind of chalked it up to that, and no one really takes her very
serious.
serious. And man, I wouldn't want no one to really not take me serious. But we don't take
So
her
she acts
serious.
out the way she does because she does it for attention.
We just overlook Mellie anymore. Mellie's been online right now. I'm talking about up to a week ago, like talking about me
Starting trouble,
personally.
yeah.
And here's the funny thing.
We haven't seen her in years.
Not only have we not seen her, I
Years.
have spoke to her, and we haven't even been mad. And she just takes days and spells where she gets up there and just straight dog trashes me.
But she does it with her own family too, though.
And then she'll pick up the phone at some point and call me and act like, hey, what are you doing, Kayla? But expect me to answer and be like, what's up? She been dogging me up till a week ago online, and we're not even mad. We haven't even had an argument. I haven't spoke to Mellie since
I think
this
it's
summer.
to do with the podcast.
Well, if that's the case, she might need to go get one. Go get involved. Getting online and talking about me is not going to help her with the podcast. She's only promoting me.
Well, I know our bond with our siblings. My mother raised us to be very close, and we're very close to this day. I don't get online. I don't get on social media, and I don't dog my siblings. That's something I've never done and would never do, and I just think it's insane. So we were raised to be very close, and 99% of gypsies are the same way. You just don't do.
You don't turn against your siblings. And if
Siblings.
you have problems, that's normal. But you don't take it to the internet and start bashing your brothers and your sisters or your nieces and your nephews, because for some, I guess there's just no respect. There's no lines drawn. But speaking for me and mine, we do have a line, and we don't cross it, and we've never crossed it. Out on TikTok, Facebook, going live, talking about each other. That's not cool. And I'm at a point right now where I'm dreading this next scene that we're going to have to talk about. It's this baby shower.
At Luke's. Well,
At
in
Luke's.
this scene, we throw a baby shower for Mellie. Your boyfriend at the time shows up, and things get heated between you and Nettie.
Damn.
Hey.
Kayla always complained about Richard not letting her out of the house alone. Now, it looks like she's doing the same thing that she left him for with this guy, Adam. And he's not even a gypsy, he's a gorger.
Early in the party, Adam arrives, and you introduce him to the girls. Why did you want him to come to the baby shower?
Well, at that time, I wanted him to come to the baby shower because at that point in time in my life, things were advancing. Like we were getting pretty serious, and I was just introducing him to the family.
Well, while you were eating, do you remember Joanne bringing up the name thing with Mellie's baby and you and Nettie getting into it?
God, yes.
Who are you naming the baby after?
I done told her, Kayla Marie Williams.
Oh, I told y'all.
In the gypsy community, it's very important that you name your daughter after one of your sisters. If you don't name your baby after your sister, you will be looked down upon in the gypsy community.
Well, she kept saying it. Kayla Williams, whatever. Kayla Williams. She kept saying that.
Couldn't you
So
tell
I-
what she was trying to
But
do?
I do
Antagonize
understand Nettie
Nettie.
getting mad, but Nettie should have got mad at you because that's not your fault that Mellie was going to do that.
There you go. I couldn't have said it any better, and that's what I was gonna say. If I knew that Mellie was doing this to antagonize Nettie, why didn't Nettie, her own sister, know that she was just doing this to get to her and it worked?
Well, Nettie was pretty heated. She got really, really mad, and she was saying that my granny's name, Nettie Mullins, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she kept asking her, what's the baby's name will be? And Mellie wouldn't shut up saying, Kayla Williams.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't think it was nothing to do with the name. I think what it boiled down to for Nettie in this scene is that she ran Mellie out. She didn't run her out. They got in an argument. Mellie left. Okay. And Mellie was over there staying with me. She wanted Mellie back over at her house. So I think she used the same way Mellie antagonized Nettie by saying that she was going to give the baby my name, because we all knew that wasn't going to happen, is the same way that Nettie bit back, pulled a Mellie move to take that and use it against me because of Mellie being with me. This
Yeah,
was never
'cause
to do with the name.
She said that you was trying to take her place in Mellie's life, and uh, I guess that's why she was. In her mind, that she was mad about it.
In her mind, she's thinking I'm manipulating Mellie, and I what would I have? Why would I want to manipulate Mellie?
Yeah, that's her sister. You ain't gonna turn her against her own sister.
Why would I do that? Why would I even want to do that? I mean, I got a family of 7. I had a hell of a load on me already. Does she think that I wanted Mellie to move in with me? I didn't. I had a house full. But I'd done it because she didn't, Mellie called me and didn't have anywhere else at that moment to go.
Well, at the time, Nettie dropped the C word twice. If it was a drinking game, people would have wasted, because the number of times that they said it in this episode was insane. But when you're mad, I can't lie. I say it myself.
And we wonder why it's Mellie's favorite word. She got it honest. She took back after Nettie for that.
Well, after this, you and Nettie go into another screaming match, and you and Mellie storm out. While you were driving, Mellie throws up in your car, and y'all discuss your reputation.
I'm getting sick of people talking about us partying and me partying. Come to on. I told I'm not with Richard anymore. Yes, if I want to party, I'm going to do it. And I'm not doing anything wrong by doing it.
It's nobody's business anyways.
When I was with Richard, I was basically under his thumb. I never went out. Now I'm with someone else, and he lets me do whatever I want. And he's the biggest partier of the bunch.
Yeah, you had to stop and let her. She threw up. You remember that?
I remember her throwing up. Yeah.
Adam was sitting in the back seat.
Yep.
They all they wanted to talk about was, I guess,
Nick.
basically, huh?
Oh no, sorry.
You all's drinking. I guess she thinks Mellie's pregnant and you're taking Mellie into bars.
I just don't get it. I didn't
You
get it.
couldn't make Mellie, dude. Mellie was grown at the time.
I couldn't tell. If anything, I got her out of the bar. How about that one? That was the stipulations to come move in with me, not the bar. I got her out of a strip club where her life was at a risk. Going in a strip club and a bar and a club is different. A strip club is where you get a lot of men that get very jealous and protective over women in there, and they get crazy. Now, a woman can drive a man crazy. And I was really worried that Mellie was going to get hurt working there. But as far as Mellie going to a bar, I couldn't stop Mellie. I didn't encourage Mellie, and I couldn't stop Mellie. Whatever I chose to do, if she was mature enough to decide, if you want to be with me, you live here. If you want to go, you can. If you're not, you can sit right there. I wouldn't babysitting Mellie. She's her own woman, her own boss. Well, let's talk about Scott and Mellie at our house.
Well, in this scene, Mellie and Scott talk about Nick, the father of Mellie's unborn child. And during the conversation, they talk about how Nick and Scott has never met.
Have you talked to Nick or anything?
I have talked to Nick.
Nick is the father of my unborn child, and he definitely wants to be in her life when she's born.
You know he's going to be at the hospital, and he's probably going to want to be in the back room when she's born.
I definitely want Scott there when my baby's born. I just don't want the drama. God knows there's gonna be enough drama with Nettie and Kayla there.
I know Scott didn't look too happy about Nick happened to be at the hospital, but at the same time, I guess he understood it because that was Nick's baby. But you could tell Scott was happy at the same time with Mellie being pregnant and him thinking he's going to raise his baby as his and all this. And they had a little moment on the bed, laying across the bed. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think did he ever get to meet Nick? I don't think he ever got to meet him.
Actually, no, he didn't get to meet Nick. He met Nick's parents, I
Parents.
believe. Yeah, that's how that went. Because it didn't show that on the show, and
I know when she had the baby, Scott was there, and they had the baby for a while, and then Nick's parents ended up with Brandy. So
yeah,
I don't. I don't
raised
think
her.
Nick was there himself when the baby was born.
He wasn't.
Yeah, then no.
I think he was in jail when the baby was born. I think he was in jail. Yeah.
Later in the scene, you come in the room and you call Nettie, ooh, and invite her to lunch.
I mean, I gotta invite her somewhere, and what better than over food to talk about her hyper law ass at the time.
We all love food. So
Yeah.
anytime we have a talk and discussion, it's always over food. The way to our bellies is food.
You are so not lying. I mean, if there's food there, you can count us in.
Well,
have hit this
watching
100.
back on this episode, I don't think it was one of the greater ones. I think it was more of the worst ones. I wasn't too crazy about this episode. I didn't like all the arguing and drama and bullshit.
I didn't
We've
like
had
all the
more-
antagonizing that went on in this freaking episode.
We-
And people,
We've had more fun on other episodes than this one. This is my least favorite.
I wonder if some
One of
people
the least
think that
favorites.
some of that's scripted. People probably really don't know that they really got that mad about me innocently being asked to throw a baby shower that I didn't even ask to throw. And I didn't ask Mellie to name baby after me. But yet I'm the one that got attacked for the two things that I didn't even put on my own plate. They brought it to me.
Would you
Do
do
it
anything,
in my face.
Would you do anything differently if you could?
Yes. I would have let Mellie stay right over at Nettie's instead of bringing her in and trying to help her out and really, really help her like my kids, because that's what I done. I would have been better off to just let her stay over there. They would have eventually been okay, rather than to keep that shit over there. Don't bring it to me. If you want to come to me with some common sense. Just all you gotta do is just be normal around me, and you can about get anything you want. But keep that crazy shit down the road, because I just can't take it. I don't like it. Life's too short to be so aggravated. I embrace life. Don't attack it.
True that.
So no, it wasn't my favorite episode. It was drama that was brought to me that was uninvited. That's what they should have named this episode. Uninvited drama. Well, guys, be sure to come back next time when we discuss Season 4, Episode 2. Dirty Little Secrets Exposed.
Oh, gosh.
Need I say more? And when I say dirty little secrets exposed, do know that you are... Everything that's going to be exposed is going to be the furthest thing from the truth ever known.
As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and send in your burning questions. For now, bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.